a number of dignitaries from different places on the continent have started arriving a few moments ago. If I'm not mistaken, we saw a representative from the Ashanti people in Ghana who has arrived for the coronation of AmaZulu King Misuzulu KaZwelithini. And on your screens, we saw ladies singing a few moments ago. Let's talk about the story of today, right? It is said to be an historic moment, as something like this has not been seen by the public or witnessed by the public in many years. For that part of the conversation, we're joined by Gcina Mhlophe, who is an author and storyteller. Ma, thank you very much for availing yourself this morning. Before we get into the story of not only today, but for the future, we're seeing people who are singing, we're hearing drums beating, we're hearing feet meeting the ground. Why is that important in terms of the spiritual aspect, if you will, or the summoning of those who were before and the calling of Umvelinqangi to watch over proceedings today?
Thank you so much, Sanbingelela. Indeed, we say Bayete. Today, Sibonga Ophezulu, Sibonge Abaphansi. We thank the Almighty God, Umvelinqangi, uNkulunkulu Mudimu. And when we thank the Almighty God who made everything possible, we also thank our ancestors, those who came before us, kings and queens long gone, but who've become stars that look down upon us, who are in the ancestral realm. And when we are doing ceremonies like these, we must never forget who we are, where we come from, where we are going, and never leave behind the young ones who look up to us, because young people watch more than they listen.
Absolutely. When we talk about those who came before us, more specifically the role of women in the Zulu kingdom, we understand that this part of the program, part A, which started at 8 o'clock, will go on until about 9:30, takes a look at poetry, Statamia Maskandi, but there's also authentic and indigenous singing that will be happening, and that will be a tribute to Princess Magogo, and a song from her will be sung. Who are the women that adorn the History's Hall of Fame where the AmaZulu Kingdom is concerned?
It is extremely important for us to honor people in the heritage space, because in South Africa, sometimes in many nations, people forget the role played by arts and culture in preserving our heritage. Without culture, a nation is like an empty vessel. You see, we are the preservers of culture, people in the creative arts, through music, through poetry, through dance, through preserving even the way we dress when we present ourselves at important ceremonies. That is part and parcel of our heritage. And the different styles of dance that you see, whether by the maidens, by the mothers of the nation, the fathers, the young men, and it is amazing to see what is going on. People are doing this with pride, with a sense of belonging, and people who haven't felt that before, it is resuscitated, it is being reawakened. And so whether you are physically at Moses Mabhida Stadium or you are in different places where you are, I'm doing something else in Johannesburg today, preparing to launch my new book, but in my spirit is there. I'm so excited that something like this is taking place in such a peaceful manner, and people coming from different countries and different cultures saying, Siyabonga, Siyabambisana, Magwande, let the good deeds multiply.
That ukubambisana, the unity that you speak of, the reawakening that you speak of, we've got people from various kingdoms. The Ashanti region of Ghana are represented, Emaswati are represented, we've got people from Zambia coming as well. When we talk about the story that we are going to tell, this is after all termed an historic moment. What do you perceive that story will be?
I think it is crucial for us to recognize the intangible heritage, the intangible knowledge systems, and a lot of it is carried in oral history. And that oral history, and uyabona kukhona inyosi laphayana izobe ibonga into angazoyibone, and the great poet who goes with the king is an amazing man. He's a wordsmith, he's spiritual, he's historical, he knows so much. and the different people who have been commentators throughout, who have been talking, or Professor Bayifundile Lento, who have studied history, who have lived this history. It is extremely important then for us to know that all of this must be taken forward and passed on, yes, orally, but let's transcend and record some of these things in audio recordings, video recordings, and populate the electronic, the IT space, the YouTube channels in correct information, not other people telling our story. Let's tell our own stories with a sense of respect and dignity. You see, mutual respect is everything.
Dr. Gcina Mhlophe, always a pleasure. Siyabonga, ma. Thank you very much for availing yourself, and all the best with the book launch.